Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast. This is a solo podcast episode with A. If you guys are watching on YouTube, it's one of those moments where I just open up my screen. I'm like, oh, thought my hair looked kind of cute. Maybe it doesn't. We went curly hair today because I had about 7 minutes to get ready. It was a PD day here, which is great, but I was having a moment where I was like, you know what, Alicia, you deserve a pedicure. And I booked a pedicure for Friday. I was like, you're going to relax. You're not going to rush. And then I was like, it's a PD day. And it was just a little bit of a different experience. It was fine. We still got the job done. But I'm like, of course I booked it on a PD day. Anyways, okay. How is everyone? Do you guys feel like summer is coming? Because it's coming. And it feels so good. I'm like, yes, warmth. I'll take it, everything. But it's not what I want to talk about. Okay. So I was sharing something on my Instagram and it got so much attention that I'm like, okay, we need to bring this conversation to the podcast because I do really love longer form conversations. So I was sharing on Instagram some details, which you may or may not want to be a part of, but here we go, of my crime scene periods. And definitely over the last couple years, there's like 1 or 2 days during my period that is like extra. Okay. And what was so significant about this particular crime scene period is it is the third time I've gotten my period in 6 weeks. And so I really wasn't expecting it. Actually, super interesting. I had gotten on the scale. I do weigh myself every morning. I check in with it. I look for trends. There's no drama. I don't have my weight connected to my worth. Like I don't have sabotage moments with the scale anymore. It's just something that I do. Anyways, and you know what? Actually, pause. It's something that I do because it works for me. Okay. It's not the right way. It's not the only way. It's just a way that works for me that I enjoy as a part of my weight management is getting on the scale every day. So I went on the scale and it was unexpectedly up 1.5 pounds. And I was like, weird, like really have been very dialed in to my nutrition and my movement and very consistent. And so I was kind of surprised a little bit by the game. And I thought, it is what it is. Like, keep going. You know what to do. And then the next day, my period shows up. So I'm like, okay. And you know what? This is just such a good reminder that if you guys are on a weight loss journey and you have those moments where you get on the scale and it's unexpectedly up 1 pound, what I don't want you to do is self sabotage and go, well, fine then, and drive yourself straight to McDonald's and go to the drive through. And then you're not even giving your body the opportunity to show you your consistency. And who knows, if you hadn't have created this massive surplus to like show the scale who's boss, you could have been down 2 pounds the next day. Like you just really never know. So that's just like a little reminder. Anywho, so I didn't expect it. So my period arrived and I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's like insane. Okay. So I share this with people on the internet and I open up the conversation about hormone replacement therapy and just going through menopause and tools that we choose to use. And holy moly, is there a lot of opinions. And before I continue this conversation, I want to say that my intention with this conversation is to have a conversation. I think it's so important that women are talking about their health, women's health, perimenopause, menopause, hormone replacement therapy, all the things, okay, full spectrum of all the things, because it's almost like I think it's a lot better now. But even like the nitty gritty details, I think there's like shame connected with it, which is so interesting. And even if I acknowledge a thought that I had, I was like thinking about being done my period, and I was almost like, huh, I don't like that. That means I'm like all dried up. But as much as I like don't want my period anymore, all right, I need to sneeze, everyone. I'm so sorry. Alfie? Oh, what are you doing? That's fine. Sorry. PD day, guys. PD day. And I hear them in the fridge. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. So I just think it's important to have these open conversations. So that is my intention. And just because I am currently choosing to manage my symptoms of perimenopause with lifestyle does not mean that I am telling you that's what you should do. And that is not me telling you that you shouldn't be taking hormone replacement therapy, or you shouldn't be using birth control. I need to just like get that out there right now. Okay. All right. So discussing it on my Instagram, and wow, so many different experiences. I guess that's an important thing to point out. I had people that said to me their periods were irregular for a year and then it was over, and some people said it was 10 years. So, and some people said my symptoms were super manageable, and then some people said like my anxiety was causing me to like, have dark thoughts about my children. My periods were so bad that I was bleeding through everything. So like I have heard through my DMs such a wide spectrum of experiences. And I had some people say, "Oh my gosh, I'm still having my period regularly. I'm 55. Is there something wrong with me?" And then there's other people that say, "I haven't had my period since 42." And here's what I really want to make sure we realize. If it's happening to you, it's normal. Okay. And there's no right way, there's wrong way, there's no better way, there's not a good way. Like, let's just honor that our bodies are so complex. And obviously, going through this change, our bodies are going to go through it so differently. Okay. All right. So someone asked me, she said, besides crime scene periods, what else has been your symptoms? So what's interesting is I didn't think I was going through perimenopause at the beginning because I didn't have any hot flashes. And I was like, well, that's just like the thing. Everyone gets hot flashes. So it just didn't occur to me. Also, I think it's because inside I think I'm 25. Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Ah, can't be. That can't be. That can't be. I'm 25, but I'm not 25." So it kind of snuck up on me. It definitely took me probably a year to be like, huh, I think this is perimenopause. Before I actually recognized it and started making changes. So that's another reason why I share, is so that hopefully you guys can maybe recognize and acknowledge when it's happening to you and make changes accordingly. So that person said to me, what other symptoms have you had since besides crime scene periods? And so I just wanted to share with you guys. So, for sure, sensitivity to caffeine and alcohol. So, what I mean by that is there was a couple situations where I was drinking alcohol and I don't want to say lost control, but like I was extremely intoxicated and I did not like that. I think I've shared this before, but like every other time I've been that intoxicated, it was like I made a conscious choice. But it was like I didn't make the choice. It was like it snuck up on me. And I've always had a really strong connection with alcohol. Maybe this sounds ridiculous, but like I was like a trained professional. Do you know what I mean? That was like a part of my lifestyle so much that I was very good at knowing my limits. Like I would stop drinking, I would go to water, I would like I knew like to eat, like I just knew how to manage alcohol in my life without it being crazy. And there was just a few moments where instances where that happened, and I did not like that. And also just my hangovers and how it was affecting my sleep. I'd have one glass of wine, maybe two, and then I would not sleep. I would literally wake up at 3 in the morning with like heart palpitations. I'd often be able to fall asleep, but then I'd wake up at like 3, 4, and then can't go back to sleep. And then the next day, I feel like absolute shit because not only did I put alcohol in my body, but I didn't sleep. So then the next day is not a great day. And then it just was not sitting well in my body. Caffeine took me a lot longer to realize. I was sitting at my desk. First thing I realized is I needed to eat before caffeine. And the reason for this, guys, if you're listening, you're like, but I've never had to do that before. As you change, your hormones change, and your body metabolizes caffeine and alcohol differently. And so you could have used to have been able to drink 5 coffees before you ate anything and you were totally fine and you felt fine, okay? But that might change. That might change because your body's metabolizing caffeine differently. So that's what started happening to me. I'm like sitting, so I started eating, and then it really didn't help. And I'm like sitting at my desk working and I'm feeling like anxious, heart palpitations again. And I'm like, ugh, is this coffee doing this to me? And so I've really limited my coffee. So that was two symptoms. Caffeine and alcohol consumption, my tolerance was just out of whack. Fatigue, just feeling so tired. I really was someone that I don't want to say never felt tired, but not on like a regular day, like not for no reason. I always had a lot of energy, and energy is a massive value for me. I want to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, and I want to go to 10 p.m. That's my shift. And I want to have enough energy to do whatever I want all day. Like, I don't want to have to need a nap. I don't want to have this like slum and feel yucky. So it's really important to me to have a lot of energy. And I was tired. Weight gain, like I gained about 10 pounds in like a year. And it was like, and then the next year I didn't like gain any weight, but like it was like I couldn't get it off. Maybe it was more of a year and a half, the 10 pounds crept up. And then I tried to get it off and it wasn't going off. So like there was a sick and it was like, what is happening to my body? Like I didn't feel like I had made all these, I hadn't made any significant changes to my lifestyle. And all of a sudden I'm gaining weight, joint pain, like debilitating joint pain, like can't sleep joint pain. And that was one of probably the worst symptoms for me. Brain fog. I still feel like I'm pretty foggy up there compared to how I used to be. Now, I do pump out a lot of things in my brain every single day, but she's a bit foggier. And then my sleep, I was having these weird moments where I would be so tired. It's 11 p.m. and I'm laying in bed and I can't fall asleep. So those were all of my symptoms. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can like recognize. So as I'm talking to people on my Instagram and talking about their experiences, there's a few things that people brought up to me. Well, first of all, so many people said go on birth control to manage your periods. And I am just personally a person that thinks that our bodies know what's up and we should respect the way that our bodies are meant to work as much as possible. That is my personal value. Okay. If you feel differently, that's okay. Like I chose to give birth to my children without any drugs because I felt like that my body was meant to do this. I'm going to trust my body and my body is meant to do this. Um, and so that's just not a choice for me, but I'm not judging. Okay. So I had a lot of people suggesting hormonal birth control. And then I had a lot of people suggesting HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. And also full transparency. I don't want to say I don't know a lot about hormone replacement therapy, but I don't. And so if I feel like I want to explore that, I will. One thing I must say though, I have a lot of people coming at me and they're saying, well, do you follow this doctor? This doctor says this. Do you follow this doctor? This doctor says yeah, this, and this doctor says this. And at the end of the day, I really want to encourage you guys to take in opinions of people, and doctors are people with opinions. They are very educated, specialized people, but they also have values and experiences and opinions. And you can find two very educated physicians that have completely different beliefs on hormone replacement therapy. And the reason why I'm having this conversation with you guys is I need you to still be an advocate for yourself. You are still in charge of you and your body, and I think it's important that you get the full picture and that you seek out a conversation with people that you really respect and have similar values, and just kind of collect all your information and then make a choice that feels right for you. So I had tons of people suggesting hormone replacement therapy. And, when I was sharing with them that like, I don't feel like I need that, there's a few people said, well, but you don't have to suffer. But here's the thing. I said, I don't feel like I'm suffering. And this person said, well, you had 3 periods in 6 weeks. And I said, but that doesn't feel suffering to me. And again, I want you guys to see how you feel and not like, oh, I should do this or I have to do this. Like, do you feel like you're suffering? And then I had another person say, well, if you want to be miserable, don't take hormone replacement therapy. And I said, but I'm not miserable. I actually don't know if I've ever been more in touch with my wellness than I am right now. I don't want to say I've never been healthier because, like, what's really the metric of healthy? Um, but here's what I for sure can say. I've never been more focused on my overall wellness than I am right now. And so I'm far from miserable. I feel like I'm far from suffering. I feel like my body's like a little machine right now. It's like doing its thing. It's like, yeah, we got this. And so I just like felt like I wanted to take this conversation. I felt like it needed a more longer form conversation on the podcast today. So as much as I appreciate everyone's advice, and if you felt like you were suffering and that's why you made the choice, or you felt like you were miserable and that's why you made the choice to do hormone replacement therapy, I support you. But I don't feel that way yet. And I'm really choosing to lean in hard. Like I'm talking leaning in hard. I don't, and the reason why I want to make this super clear is I don't want you guys to think that I'm just like dabbling in my wellness and all of a sudden my symptoms are manageable. Like I am very intentional with this. I am paying attention to this. I've been extremely consistent when it comes to my overall wellness, and it's making a difference. So what am I doing? Moving my body. I introduced weight training about 6 months now. And I'm continuing to do my walks, not every single day, but I'm doing, some lunchtime walks. I'm doing a significant amount of walking. I've reduced caffeine to almost zero, maybe 1 cup a week. I've reduced alcohol. I think the last time I drank was when I was in Dominican. So that was like 6 weeks ago. Um, I'm working on my gut health. I'm drinking tons of water. I'm prioritizing my sleep. I'm eating nutrient dense foods. I'm avoiding endocrine disruptors. So if you guys don't know what endocrine disruptors are, it's things, chemicals in our personal care products, in our cleaning supplies, that are toxic, that are basically, endocrine disruptors can either mimic your hormones or block your hormone. And so this plays a significant role in your hormone health. So, things with phthalates and parabens in it are playing havoc on your hormones. Super important, especially someone in their 40s, that they are trying to avoid those. So things like your shampoo, your conditioner, your body wash, your makeup, your cleaning supplies, they have potentially harmful ingredients to your hormones. Okay. And I have been leading a more non-toxic life now for about 3 years and removing that from my home. So that's something I'm pretty connected with. So yeah, I don't know what my message is. My message is, if you I want to have this conversation. I want to increase awareness. I want to leave a space for women to choose what feels right for them. I also want to show, honor, show what it looks like to honor, to do what I can for my lifestyle factors. And again, I don't think I'm this amazing human because this is what I'm doing. It is just the path. And this is literally who I am. Like, this is who I am as a person. I've always been this way. This is authentic to me. This is a part of my values. And it's okay if it's not yours. But I guess I really want to I don't think that I know that hormone replacement therapy is not accessible to everyone. Let's put it that way. Okay. Hard to get an appointment. The medication is expensive. Like, it's just not accessible to everyone. But what is accessible to everyone is these lifestyle changes. And so, as always, I just want people to feel like they can be in control. And maybe you don't feel in control right now. Maybe you feel like your hormones are totally ruling you. But I guess I want you to be like, you can take some of your power back. Are you moving your body? Are you drinking your water? Are you taking supplements? Have you reduced your caffeine and your alcohol? Are you drinking water? Are you working on your gut health? Are you sleeping? Are you eating nutrient dense food? Are you minimizing your stress? Are you eliminating endocrine disruptors? There's such a long list. And again, you're in charge. If you look at that list and you're like, I don't want to do any of it, then awesome. I support you. Okay. But I just wanted to have this conversation. Okay, everyone. A little heavy, a little heavy. But as you guys know, I will continue to bring you along this wild, crazy ride of being 42 and going through these years of my life, and I'm committed to sharing authentically and honestly with you guys, and showing what's hard and showing what's working, and cheering you on no matter which path you choose that feels right for you. Okay, everyone, have an amazing long weekend.